Somso muscular series. So this will take a couple different views to cover the different regions of the arm. I'm going to start on the visible extensor group on the posterior portion of the arm here. So over here there is a muscle with the tendon running all the way out to your second digit or your index finger, and that is going to be called extensor indicus. On the other side of this extensor group there is a tendon that runs out to your little finger or digit 5, and that's going to be extensor digiti minimi. In the center there is a muscle that has a group of tendons that goes out to digits 2 through 5, and that's going to be called extensor digitorum. Now on this lateral side we can also see a muscle that is going off to the carpal region. This is going to be extensor carpi ulnaris. In order to take a look at the muscles acting on the thumb, I'm just going to change this orientation slightly here. So we have a group over here that makes up this tendinous structure that's called the anatomical snuff box. And the anatomical snuff box is made up by 3 tendons. One is the extensor pollicis longus, tendon shown there, and the muscle is deep. The next one is the extensor pollicis brevis. Both of those will function to extend the thumb, while over here the abductor pollicis longus is going to abduct the thumb. Now if I rotate just a little bit more here, we can get a look at the extensor carpi radialis longus. So here we can see that tendon coming out to this region of the carpal area, and then the extensor carpi radialis brevis coming out to this area. So that's the extensor group on the posterior side of the forearm. Rotating to this anterior side, and again always think about anatomical position even though this this upper limb model is slightly posed, we'd be looking at the anterior side here. So again, kind of developing a frame for the muscles that we'll look at here, I want to point out first the flexor carpi radialis running on the thumb side, and then over here the flexor carpi ulnaris running on the pinky side. In the center we have a muscle, and it's shown in dissection here. The structure that's missing from this area would be the palmar aponeurosis, so this muscle and tendon are that of the palmaris longus. Rotating over to this side, I'll just mention briefly the brachioradialis is actually going to be one of the muscles that we think of as involved in elbow flexion, but I'm going to remove it here to look at the deeper flexor muscles. And first I want to just touch on the muscles that actually supinate. So this is going to be the supinator, and then this is going to be the pronator teres. So they are antagonist muscles to each other. Of course, supination is going to be this motion, pronation is going to be that motion. Down distal in the arm there's another pronator, and it's not really shown. The muscle belly is down here, but you can't see it because it's obscured by other muscles or deep to other muscles, and that's the pronator quadratus. So now if I remove the pronator teres, the flexor carpi radialis, and the palmaris longus, I can get a look at the deeper group here. So this group is going to be one of the large flexor muscles. This is the flexor digitorum, and it actually has a tendon that bifurcates or forks, and there it inserts into the middle phalanx of digits 2 through 5. So down deep to that, you have another muscle that's going to make the journey all the way to the distal phalanges of digits 2 through 5. So this is going to be the muscle belly of the flexor digitorum. There you can see the tendons diving even deeper. Here we're observing the median nerve in the center down here. And all of these structures, with the exception of the palmaris longus, are going to dive underneath this flexor retinaculum. And here we re-emerge, and we can see the tendon shown in dissection there. But this tendon right there would extend to digits 2 through 5, and that's going to be flexor digitorum profundus or flexor digitorum deep. Then right here, this is a flexor pollicus longus. It's known for looking like a feather. You can imagine the way the fibers run, it kind of looks like a feather. So those are the muscles of the forearm on the anterior and posterior side. And I'm going to add back in just my brachioradialis. So this brachioradialis is one of the muscles that is crossing over the elbow. It's an elbow flexor, and it's a uniarticulate elbow flexor, meaning it only passes over the elbow and not any other joints. Down deep to that, and also more medial, is going to be the brachialis. So brachialis, again, is passing over the elbow. And then here we see the biceps brachii. The long head is lateral, the short head is medial. This is going to insert onto the radial tuberosity and bicipital aponeurosis right there. The biceps brachii is actually a biarticulate muscle, so basically it's passing over the elbow joint as well as the shoulder, with its origins on the coracoid process of the scapula. And also removing the deltoid here, we can see that it inserts onto the supraglenoid tubercle of the scapula. Now, we do have on this anterior side, kind of an odd man out from this group, because we have the coracobrachialis. Coracobrachialis is going to pass over just the shoulder joint. And then looking at the posterior side, while I have the deltoid removed here, I'm going to view the triceps brachii. And the triceps brachii has a long head that again is a uniarticulate muscle. So that's going to be, it's a biarticulate muscle. So it's going to be crossing across from the scapula all the way down and inserting on the ulna. The lateral head and the medial head are just uniarticulate, only crossing across the elbow. And if I put this deltoid back in place here, deltoid we can see originating on the spine of the scapula, as well as this lateral portion of the clavicle. And that's going to insert onto the deltoid tuberosity down in the humerus there. Then here we can view, this would be deep to the trapezius. This is the supraspinatus muscle. So supraspinatus is going to be one of the rotator cuff muscles. Then shown here is the infraspinatus. It is all three of these directional fibers coming together, infraspinatus. And then right here, this is the teres minor. If I rotate to this anterior side of the scapula, that is the subscapularis. And right here we can see a muscle that is not part of the rotator cuff. This is the teres major. So teres major can be viewed there as well.